I know the guys who did my t-shirt.
All right, we're at Birmingham Supercross for the Legends and Heroes Tour, and I am standing next to Jimmy Kiser, Jay Kiser, Custom MX. And Jimmy, we're standing in front of your Brian Deegan 97 RM125.
Yeah.
What do we got going on here?
So basically, this bike belongs to Brian himself. This is his bike. Something he's been wanting to do for a very long time is rebuild his old Ghost Ride 97 RM125. He won the 125 Supercross race back at the Coliseum back in '97. It's his only Supercross win, and he's been wanting to restore it, so he and I got together, and that's what we did. We made it happen.
How'd you even get hooked up with Brian in the first place? Because I know you're a good-looking dude, but it's definitely not because of your bike building skills.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. So basically, I met Brian back at the Supercross in Nashville back last April, and he and I got to talking about the YZ250 and a video they were wanting to do. So we basically got in contact with each other right then. Stayed in contact after the Supercross race, and then we ended up using my 1990 YZ250 for a Danger Smoke video with he and his son. While we were there, he and I just began talking about restoration of the bike and some other things I've done, and he said, well, I have a 97 RM125, and I would love to make that back as a replica of my Ghost Ride bike.
I originally thought this was your bike, so when you told me it was actually Brian's bike, and he was like, hey, build it, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So he and I basically said, I'd love to do that, and I simply said, well, you know, if that's something you want to do, let me know. And he basically said right then, I definitely want to do it. So I was like, all right, well, we'll get together. So a few weeks later, I drove back down to Tallahassee, picked up a rough 1997 RM.
So it was not in good shape.
Not in good shape at all. I had a lot of work to do, but you know, I don't know, that's probably been 6 months, and the plan was to unveil it at the Daytona Supercross, and we did that. So it turned out great. It's a good looking bike. He's happy with it, I'm happy with it, so it was really a cool experience to do this bike. So.
That's so cool. So you were actually telling me that Brian had the chance to buy his original race bike from Moto XXX. That kind of fell apart.
Yep.
And
so
you
he
went this route.
decided, you know what, I'm just going to rebuild my own, and it's just kind of been on the back burner because he's so busy, and I basically took over that job and did it. So it turned out great.
That's a pretty cool job. Actually, Hayden and his mechanic Duffy just came over and did Hayden's vlog, so that was pretty cool to be in it as well. So tell us about it, like some cool things, like what was difficult maybe about the build, or?
Basically, the engine was in rough shape, and I had to send it over to Tom Morgan Racing a couple of times to get some things repaired. The key thing was I was trying to keep this bike together as it is, so I wanted to repair the cases, different things like that. But a few little things I wanted to make a slightly unique in difference to the original Ghost Ride bike. Just some things here and there. A little bit of updated, more current bar pad, because what he had on there I can't find anyway. One of the graphics to look very, very similar. Decal Works helped us out with that, did a fantastic job. Wanted to also make the bike rideable and a usable bike, so I didn't want it just to be a showpiece either. So such as Cerakoting the engine cases, making things where it's easy to clean, things such as that. What was kind of the cool thing is that I would keep in touch with Brian on things that I needed. I'd come home one day, tires. Come home, wheels.
You're texting Brian, calling him.
So we're just texting. You know, and he would, so he had a piece of the build too. So it wasn't just me. He wanted to be involved in it when he could. So I basically got the hubs ready to go. I sent them over to W Wheel, and then he worked it out with them and got us the wheels built, sent back, tires, bars, anything with Pro Taper. You know, he worked out. So, you know, it was the first time I'd ever had help with a build, you know, and that's a great guy to have in your corner.
I think I'd say so. So what's the plan with this thing? He wants to ride it? Are you going to ride it? Or?
So basically, somewhere in the next couple weeks, I think he's wanting to do some videos and ride the bike and do some videos of his own with the bike and get some riding done. But I think he just wants to keep it for his collection.
Yeah.
We're going to have, of course, I had it at Daytona. We're going to have it here at Nashville. Going to have it, here in Birmingham. Going to have it in Nashville with Legends. And after that, he's gonna he's going to ride it. So, and I guess if he needs to repair something, he'll call me.
You're the guy now, so
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
that's good or bad.
I don't know.
Cool. Well, I mean, Jimmy, thing's beautiful. Like when I first saw it, I was actually really excited to come and see it in person. And man, it's a beauty. And Brian's got some cool things to look forward to in the future. So
yeah, it's a great looking bike.
If people want to follow your builds, where can they find you?
Jay Kiser Custom MX on both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Pretty good.
It's tough, and I thought, well, let's see what happens when we get the first detail on just to see if it stands out. And I don't really notice it, man. You might can get them re-anodized.
Yeah, I know the guys who did my two-stroke 250 do it. Yeah. Whenever, maybe whenever.
It's the only one part of the bike that's still a little bit blemished, but yeah.
But we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you go follow Jimmy and all of his other bike builds that he's doing, because I'm sure there's going to be some more cool things down the road.
Got some coming down the line, yep.
Probably with Brian too, maybe Hayden. So
we've already talked about another build.
Oh,
so
okay.
we'll see what happens with that.
Cool. As always, guys, ride hard, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.